Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user Without a Daddy. My mom, female 42, wants me, female 17, to meet in person with my real dad. She's still in love with him. I don't want to. Am I a bad daughter? My bio dad went to court after I was born and gave up his rights to me with my mom's agreement, cause she had another boyfriend who was willing to be my dad. She signed off and my bio dad didn't ever have to pay child support. Also, my mom's boyfriend turned out to be a piece of crap, so my mom became a single mom ever since I was 2 and would always drop me off with my neighbors to go to work. She works hard and is a good mom, but when I was little, she didn't have money, so she would drop me off practically naked in a cold weather state for my neighbors to babysit me. They have 2 sons who are now like my brothers. Their dad works really hard and their mom works hard at home. So my neighbor was the one who held me when I was sick and he treated me like his daughter. He bought me clothes and school supplies and he encouraged me when I did well in school. He tutored me in my weak subjects and helped me keep my grades up. He's amazing. He taught me to ride a bike and he held me when I was scared at night. I have a bedroom in their house and he read to me ever since I was 2. He's the closest thing to a dad I've ever had. I just love him. I call him dad and he calls me his princess. His wife loves me and treats me like a daughter. Now, here's the issue. My bio dad just recently came back into my mom's life and wants to meet me and have a relationship. My mom is super excited. She still loves him, I can tell. My neighbor, mom, is really hurt that my mom wants me to have a relationship with my real dad. She is really jealous, which I secretly love. My neighbor dad is being more understanding, but he told me last night that no matter what happens, he's my dad, and that will never change. I love him so much, and I've always been his little girl. My 2 neighbor brothers are mad and want to beat up my bio dad for having left me. But one of them also told me that my neighbor dad is really hurting and that he might lose me. I know this all sounds really dysfunctional, but my neighbor dad is the world to me. He's the one I love. I don't want to even meet my bio dad. I'm not even curious, but I feel guilty about that. Like, I feel I'm cruel for feeling that way. I just wish I could go on with my life with my neighbor dad. I got accepted to college, which my neighbor parents are partially paying for, so I just want to move on with my life and go to college. I feel like I don't have room in my life for my bio dad, but he means the world to my mom, so I don't know. I think sometimes my mom doesn't appreciate all my neighbor family does for me. She's just blinded by love and wanting to be with her ex. My mom says it's our chance to have a real family, but I feel like I already have a real family. I know my mom feels left out of that, and I don't know how to fix that. My neighbor dad's name is David. That's his real name. I feel like he deserves the world to know what a great dad he is. I know he told me it's okay if I meet and establish a relationship with my bio dad, but my neighbor brothers told me that he's hurting over this. My mom is really pushing for this, but I think I already have a dad. I know I don't really, but it feels like I do. I'm really confused right now and I'm really sad. I don't want to break my mom's heart because that has been done enough. OP, this situation sucks and you shouldn't be in the middle of it. Your mom has really done a lot for you. She was a single mom and she did her best to raise you with the help of your neighbor family that you've grown so fond of that you actually have a fantastic father figure there, and that is David. And even though your mom might want or have this notion of her little family, it's very unfair of her to put all of this on you. But the fact of the matter is that you didn't give up on a family that never existed. Your bio sperm donor left you and gave up all of his rights to you. Now he wants to come back and thinks the door is just open like that? Screw him. No. Look, if your mom wants to have a chance at a relationship with him, sure, she can go ahead and do that. But she shouldn't be putting you in a position where you need to choose something like this, because you never had a choice. So if I was in your shoes, I would tell my mom that I love her very much and I thank her for everything that she did. If she wants to have a relationship with the bio dude, sure, she can do that. Just don't force one on me, because I don't want it. I have a father and his name is David, who, by the way, sounds like an awesome human being and like an angel that was sent to you when you needed it the most. So, what do you guys think about this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section your opinion about this, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Made You Read Penis says, "Oh man, I fell for it. Some crazy relatives of mine try to reunite me with my dad off and on. Okay, mostly on. And I say no every time. They don't even have my address or phone number anymore because they wanted to force a reunion by surprising me. I still will not meet him. I had two real dads. My first was my step-grandpa early in life. He was amazing, but I lost him to cancer. My second one was my wife's dad. I know that sounds creepy and almost incestuous, but he took me in as his own kid. And I've been friends with my wife since kindergarten. Stick with your real family. Don't meet the guy that left because someone else wants you to." Subtly Lacking says, "You have a real dad and a real family, and it's not with your bio dad or mom from the sounds of it. You will be 18 soon, like you said. You don't have to accept your bio dad as your dad, and I don't think you should. He wasn't there for you at all, but now that you're all grown up and not as much work, he wants to step back in? Ridiculous. If I were you, I would sit down with your real family and tell them that no matter what, you love them and that they are who you consider to be family. Tell them that if you meet your bio dad, that you're just doing it as a courtesy to your mother. But they should know where your true feelings lie. Perhaps tell them your concerns with how your mother is becoming resentful towards David and you only want the time until you're 18 to go as smoothly as possible." Remember Coombe Valley says, quote, "She's really jealous, which I secretly love." End quote. Do you mean that your neighbor mom is jealous? Watch out. Jealousy burns out a person's ability to care about you. Don't feed it. Help her fight it, and your relationship with her will be stronger. Give her some attention and tell her how much she means to you and how much you appreciate all that she's done. The same for your neighbor dad. Tell him how much you care about him and what a lifesaver he is and how grateful you are to have him in your life. Make sure you give him and neighbor mom extra attention over the holidays. You say, "I know I don't really, but it feels like I do have a dad already." You do, really, and you're right about who it is. As for Jean mom, basically, she can F right off. You are not a poker chip that she can use to buy into the relationship she wants. You are not an accessory that she can use to attract your Jean dad. You do not need to meet the man, ever, and you certainly don't need to do it on her terms. Your Jean mom feels left out? One of my favorite authors wrote, "When you choose an action, you choose the consequences of that action. When you desire a consequence, you had damned well better take the action that would create it." This is nothing you need to feel guilty for. Your mother took the steps down the long path that brought her here. She doesn't have the right to bitch that she's in the desert instead of at the sea. Additional information from OP's comments. My mom wants me to have a daughter-dad relationship with him and call him dad. She's even angry at David, my dad, because she thinks he's the reason I don't want to go along with this. She says bad things about him and gets mad when I defend him. I know I'm only 17, but I will be 18 next summer, and then I can do what I want. For now, I'm kind of forced to meet him. I could move in with my neighbors, but I'm afraid that would really break my mom's heart in a way that I'm not sure I'm ready to do. If her ex had never come back to her life, everything would be perfect with my life right now. I feel like David is my real dad. My mom says he's more like a big brother because he's very young, but to me, he's dad. My mom is making a big deal out of this and, as I said, is becoming resentful towards David, which is really making me furious, and I don't let my mom get away with bad-mouthing my dad. She gets angry that I defend him, but she stops when I tell her to. Now, my bio dad, well, he gave me up. I didn't know at the time that he was opening the door for me to have the best dad I could ever ask for next door. But how is that my fault? I think I'll write David and the rest of my neighbor family some letters so that I can tell them everything I need to say and it's something they can keep and read when they're feeling insecure. Alright, well, the community agrees. OP doesn't have to meet this guy if she doesn't want to, and, well, he gave her up so she gets to be with David, who she chose as her dad. So now, let's move on to the update to see how this story ends. My mom said my bio dad had really changed and deserved a chance with me. She also told me new information that didn't help her case. He originally gave up his rights to me because he worked for his mom's business and didn't want to pay child support to protect his mom's money. So it had nothing to do with him not wanting to be my dad. For some reason, this made me madder. Then, my bio dad posted a picture on his Facebook of him holding some of my soccer trophies on his lap. He captioned it with, "I created a soccer champ." Then he got a lot of comments from his friends saying what a great dad he was and what a great job he did raising me, and he just said thanks to about 12 of them. I was so mad I took all my trophies from my mom's house and moved them into my neighbor's parents' house. My mom has now lost her mind and told me I had to choose between her and bio dad or my neighbor parents. She's going to marry him and wants me to be with them. She brought some brochures of a college in my bio dad's family home state and said they have a great soccer team. We had a big fight over my mom bad-mouthing my dad, David, and I asked how she could be so mean to him after all he's done for the both of us for years. She became violently angry and started breaking stuff in the living room, screaming how selfish and ungrateful I was. I ran away after this. My dad, David, told me to just stay home with him until I finished school. My mom called the police and they came over to talk to my dad, David, a few times, but nothing happened. My dad just told me that it's okay and I don't have to go back with my mom. I feel guilty about my mom and I cry a lot for her at night, but I really feel like I'm with my family now. I wish there was a way things could go back to the way they were, where I had my mom and my neighbor parents and we all got along great. But those days are gone. Sometimes I think it's not fair to my mom that I chose another family over her. I think I'm doing a horrible thing. She was a single mom for so long and she worked hard, and now I feel like I'm betraying her. Extended from OP's comments, I'm really conflicted about my mom and I do feel sympathy for her. I wish I could make her happier, but that would mean I have to give up everything that makes me happy. As for my bio dad, well, he is taking credit for raising me, and that is not making my mom angry at all. She gave him some pictures of me playing soccer that he posted, and he tried to make people think he took the pictures. It was disgusting. Apparently, he wants to reconnect with me and he's getting married to my mom. I told my mom that I'm disgusted by him posting pictures. I have a dad that I need in my life. His name is David. He's right here for me and always has. My bio dad is some stranger that I feel no need to talk to. I might have to talk to him someday, but I hope not. And just to share one of my favorite recent memories. All I wanted for this past Christmas was to be with my dad, David, and I got that. We sat in front of the fireplace on Christmas Eve, talking and drinking hot cocoa. He will never know how happy I was that night, just because he was there. It was perfect. My mom spent Christmas with her new boyfriend, so I guess she was happy. Now, regarding my future, I turn 18 in a couple of months, and my dad says that the police won't force me to go back home as long as I'm healthy and keep up with schoolwork and all that normal stuff. Also, I'm not so worried about financial aid because I'm getting just enough to pay for books. Everything else is covered by scholarships. I have a big soccer scholarship, a small math and science scholarship, and a little financial aid coming. My dorm and tuition are covered. My dad can help me pay for books if I lose financial aid. Plus, I will have a part-time job. And all my FAFSA is done. But I know I have to do it every year, but I won't need my mom for it after I'm 18. I talked this over with my counselor, and she said if I'm working and I'm 18 and living alone, they will only ask for my tax papers. I have to talk to her again, but I think I don't need my mom's tax papers if I don't live with her, and she is not supporting me in any way. Alright, OP, it is not a happy update, but you are with the family where you belong, in my opinion. I'm sorry your mom did put you in this situation. She shouldn't have, but, well, that's on her, I guess. So, on this point, I'm just gonna wish you all the very best for your future in college and with your family. Take care, OP, and thank you for sharing. Now, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliant, and it's by user YourTime. Charged me an extra month and don't want to return my deposit, but why lie when I have the receipts? The contract of the apartment I've been living in for the past year recently ended. I had, however, forgotten of the 60 days written move-out notice until I was reminded by management 10 days before I turned in my notice. Though it is specified in the contract that it is my responsibility as a tenant to maintain them, I was still livid by the fact that they didn't have the courtesy to remind me all the 3 times they contacted me about renewing my contract and me verbally declining. All 3 times they said they were taking note of it, and me being the fool that I am, believed them. Since I did not provide the 60-day move-out notice in writing, I was forced to pay an extra month of rent that, regardless of my moaning and crying, was not waived. Throughout my panic, they kept reminding me that it was in the contract and that they could not do anything. Since I had to pay an extra month, I decided I was going to do everything in my power to get my deposit back, cueing the malicious compliance. I went through the entire contract. The contract specified that I was allowed to be present during the inspection as long as I provided a written notice in advance, no date specified, and that I had the right to any information extracted from the inspection. The contract also specified that the apartment has to be left in the same condition it was received and that I was responsible for any cleaning fees from services they'd have to use. Before I actually start the juicy part of the story, I have to mention that I took detailed pictures and videos of the apartment when I moved in. Unfortunately, mine was incredibly dirty, even food on the carpets. I requested it to be cleaned, but they never did anything, so I took care of it since I am terrified of confrontation. Lol, but I still saved and recorded anything that was not okay, regardless of how mild it was. The day I read the contract, I emailed them requesting to be present during the inspection and that I wanted a copy of everything obtained from that inspection to compare with my notes. They didn't respond that day, so I took it upon myself to email them every day for the next 4 days until they got back to me with the following reply. Per the rental agreement, section number move-out inspection, you may be present at the move-out inspection if you notify us in advance in writing of your request. OP, you turned your keys into the Dropbox on the 30th of May of 2022 and never requested a walkthrough. The walkthrough inspection was already completed this morning, so I obviously forwarded all of my previous emails asking if those were not considered in writing. They then offered to redo the inspection with me present, but I was out of town, so I requested all the data they obtained from it instead, to which they agreed. To this day, I have not received anything from the inspection, but I did find out that they didn't actually do it until 3 days after they stated they did on that email via the bill they sent charging me cleaning fees and no deposit back. I was like, okay, since you're not going to send me what I asked for, I'm going to send you what I have. I highlighted the part where they lied to me about the inspection date, attached pictures of how I received the apartment compared to how I left it. Very clean, and I made sure to include their timestamps. Advised that per the contract there is no reason for them to charge me cleaning fees since it was in better condition than received. I also demanded my deposit back and sent them receipts of all the products I used to clean the apartment, including a new vacuum, so they could refund me at their earliest convenience or I'd contact corporate directly. I also advised that I'd send them all the communication we'd ever had, the lies they told me, and the rest of the images and videos I have of the apartment. I honestly have no idea if I would have gotten anywhere contacting corporate, but it doesn't matter because within 3 days, I got my deposit back and got refunded for everything I spent on cleaning supplies. I did leave a review on every site I could find, but the Google one got removed for some reason. Well, OP, well done. You called them out using their own contract and got everything you needed back, so good for you. Thanks for sharing, OP. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.